and welcome back to my channel Learn with Nikhil. So here we have taken another example on DH parameters. So let's begin. So in our previous example we have seen the DH parameters. This is the next type of a sum where we have two rotational joints, that is these are the two rotary joints, and this is the prismatic joint. So let's see how the DH parameters of this are found. So first of all, we have to see the Z axis for each and every joint. So here we have, this is the first rotational joint, this is the second rotational joint, and this is the sliding or the prismatic joint. Now these are the Z axis. As you know, the Z axis is always pointing outwards and the rotation is about the Z axis. So as this link will rotate like this, so this is the Z axis. This is the link, first link. It will rotate like this. So this is the Z axis. So the link rotates about Z axis. This is the prismatic joint. This is sliding like this. So this will be the Z axis. So first we have to see the Z axis. Now to find the DH parameters, this is the table for DH parameters: joint, joint offset, joint angle, link length and twist angle. Now for the first link, as you can see, this is the link 1. This is the first joint, this is the second joint. So between this link, we have to find the DH parameter. It connects the first joint to the second joint. And for this link, the DH parameters, as you can see here, how this values came. Joint offset B, or it is denoted by D, it is 0. Now what is the joint offset? If there was a height in this joint, then there would have been a joint offset length. Generally the joint offset length is in the prismatic joint. Here the joint offset is 0. Next we have the joint angle, that is denoted by theta. Now assume that the x-axis is not aligned with the link. So here the x-axis is not aligned with the link. It is somewhere here or it is somewhere here. Now always we have to align the x-axis along the link. Now to align that, we have to rotate it at an angle of 90 degree or any other degree. So first of all, the x-axis was here, the y-axis was here. So we rotated it along the z-axis and rotated at an angle of 90 degree to align the x line along this link. So we rotated it, the joint angle is 90 degree. Then we have to transfer this coordinate from this point to this point. So for transferring this, the length of this link is 3 units. So the link length A will be 0.3 units. So we have transferred from this point to this point at a distance of 3 units, that is 0.3 units. And finally again we have to align the z-axis at this particular point. So to align the z-axis at this particular point, now the z-axis is in this direction. When I transfer this coordinate from this point to this point, the z-axis is right now pointing upwards, x-axis is outward and y-axis is like this. So we have to rotate it along the x-axis. So this is the x-axis, we have rotated along the x-axis in such a way that the z-axis is pointing in this direction. So to do that, we have to twist this at an angle of 90 degree. So this z-axis will be coming outwards. So for this purpose, the twist angle is 90 degree. So you should know right now that if this is not parallel to this, the twist angle is 90 degree. Now moving forward towards the link number 2. Now for the link 2 also, now right now we have rotated this and this is the current position of the coordinate. This is link 2 and this is this link 2 is joining between this and this. So for the link 2 again, the joint offset is 0, as this there is no distance of this joint. So this joint is 0. So joint offset is 0. Next, the joint angle is 90 degree. As you know right now, this is the x-axis and we always know this x-axis we have to align it across this, along this link. So to align the x-axis along this link, we have to rotate it at an angle of 90 degrees. So we have to rotate it along this z-axis. So once we rotate it, this x-axis will be coming in this line. So to rotate it, we have to rotate it along 90 degree along the z-axis. So joint angle is 90 degree. Now the link length is 0.2. So now we have to transfer from this point to this point. So for transferring this, we have to raise it at an height of 0.2 meters or 0.2 units. So we have to increase this height. So we have to transfer this from this point to this point. Next, finally, now the x-axis is pointing in this direction, z-axis is pointing in this direction right now. Now finally the twist angle. Now as you know, the z-axis should be aligned in this direction. Now the z-axis is pointing in this direction. So to do that, we have to rotate it at an angle of 90 degree to align this in this direction. So the twist angle is 90 degree. In short, this is not parallel to this, so the twist angle will be 90 degree. Now finally for the last, that is link number 3. Now here we have the prismatic joint. This is the third link. So this link is between this joint and this coordinate, between this and this. Now the joint offset is 0.3. So this distance is the joint offset. Generally prismatic joint has the joint offset. So this distance is 0.3 units. So this distance is 0.3. So this prismatic joint will slide along this direction, this angle, along the z-axis. Joint angle is 0 as there is no joint angle. The joint angle is like the x-axis should be aligned. In prismatic joint, the joint angle is always 0 as there is no rotation. Next is the link length. This is the height of the link, that is 1 units given. So this is the height of the prismatic joint, that is 0.1. And finally the twist angle, that is 90 degree again. As this z-axis is not parallel to this z-axis, so the twist angle is 90 degree. Now I'll explain this using RoboAnalyzer software also, which will make it clear. Now I'll explain this same using RoboAnalyzer software. So here we have created this robot. As you know, it has 2 rotary joints and this is 1 prismatic joint. So to create this, I have selected this 3DOF as it has 3 degrees of freedom. It has 3 joints and we have selected 3P. And with this table, putting the values as shown here, I've got this robot. So this is the same as we have studied this. Now I'll explain this using RoboAnalyzer software. Now to understand this in a much better way, now first again you have to see the z-axis. So as you know, the z-axis is pointing in this direction. It will rotate about this z-axis. This z-axis is pointing in this direction. This is the z-axis for prismatic joint and this is again the z-axis, the final z-axis of the end effector. Now I'll show you how this changes as we change the z-axis. So the twist angle, the z-axis is totally dependent upon the twist angle. Now if I change this twist angle from 90 to 0, so as you can see, the z-axis now is pointing in this direction. So this z-axis is parallel to this z-axis. So the twist angle is 0. Twist angle is 90. So this has been rotated. This is how it changes. And it always rotates about the z-axis. Now if I click on F function, F kinetic and click on play, this is rotating in this direction. So as you can see, this is rotating in this direction. The initial value is 0, the final value is 180 degree. So it has rotated total 180 degree. I can change this, I can make this to 90. Forward kinetic. Now it will only rotate at a 90 degree. This is 0 and this is 90 degree. Now I'll change this back to 180 degree. Now if the twist angle is 0, this is in this direction. Here also you can see, if I rotate it, now this is rotating in this direction. So twist angle totally aligns the way the joint axis rotates. Make this again to 90. Now this is our sum. Now I'll explain this. Now you have two revolute joint or rotary joint and one prismatic or the sliding joint. Now here, as you can see, the joint offset is 0. We have studied here the joint offset for link 1 is 0. So this is the joint offset 0. If I change this to 0.1, let's see how it looks. This is, I told you about. So if the joint offset is 0.1 or anything 0.2, there will be a height of this. So first, this coordinate should travel from this point to this point. So this total distance is 0.2 meters. This is given in meters. So to travel from this point to this point, it is 0.2 meters. You can check here also. I'll click here joint offset. As you can see, it travels at a height of 0.2. So in short, you have to transfer this coordinate from this point till this end. From the base to the end effector, you have to transfer this coordinate. So how the transfer is there, it is totally depending upon this. Now if the joint offset is greater, it is 0.3, then it has to travel from this end to this end. So this is 0.3. But now as you know, the joint offset is 0, there is no height. Next, after the joint offset, we have joint angle theta. Now joint angle theta is variable, it can change, it is totally depending upon the initial value and the final value here. Here it is given 90 degree. As you know, the x-axis has to be aligned on this link. It can change, it can totally rotate anyhow. As it is variable, the x-axis will rotate with the link. So it is a variable joint. Okay, so you can change this by using the initial and the final value. Now as the initial value is 0, it is in this, and the final value is 180 degree. As I showed you earlier, the 180 degree line is here. You can change this, you can change the initial value to 90 degree or 45 degree anyhow. Change this to 45. Now this is the initial value. So the x-axis should be aligned in this direction here. It will get aligned. I'll click on joint angle. So as you can see, the x-axis always gets aligned onto the link. So that is the 45 degree. So this 45 degree will come here. Okay, so here it will be 45 degree if your robot was like this. If I make this 90, as you can see, the x-axis has to align this. So it has been rotated at an angle of 90 degree and it has rotated about z-axis. So here it would be 90 as it is there. So now the initial value here it is 0, final value is 180 degree. So the x-axis aligned at an angle of 90 degree. Now moving forward, for the link length, that is 0.3. So you have seen, first we have seen the joint offset. We have seen the joint offset is 0, so it has not moved. Joint angle, it is variable, it is 0, so it has not moved. It should be 90. If it is 90 degree, it will have moved at an angle of 90 degree. So there is a difference of 180. That's why it can be, this can be 0 or it can be 90 degree. Doesn't matter. It is variable. Next, the link length. Now if I click on link length, this distance it has to travel. Now it will travel along x-axis. It always travels along x-axis onto this link. So the link length. Now this link length, you can see it has traveled, the distance traveled is 0.3 meters. So it has traveled from this point to this point. So first is joint offset, then is the variable joint angle theta. This variable is only for the rotary joint. It is fixed in the prismatic joint. It is fixed. We have to give the value and it is fixed. Next is the link length, it is 0.3, so it has traveled from this point to this point. You can change this, you can make this 0.2, the distance will reduce, and according to that it will change. Now it is 0.3. And finally the twist angle, which I have explained earlier. So now this coordinate, as you can see, the same coordinate is arrived here. Now the z-axis is pointing upward, but as you know, the z-axis should always come out of this. So this will rotate about z-axis. Always the rotary joint, the z-axis is coming outward and it rotates about the z-axis. Now to make the z-axis come in this, from this outward, you have to rotate along this line. So you have to rotate along this line. So let's see how it rotates. So this is constant and this has been rotated at an angle of 90 degree. So the twist angle is 90 degree. So this is how the first link DH parameter we get. So this is the link 1, and between this to this we have to find the DH parameter. Now for the next joint, so this is the next joint and this is the next link. So we have to find the DH parameter between this to this. So let's see. Now for the joint 2, I'll select here joint 2. So this is the next joint. Now for the joint 2, joint offset. So this is the joint offset. Again the joint offset is 0. Now this is the coordinate which has been aligned from here to here. Joint offset is 0. If I increase this joint offset, this is how the height will be. So this is our current status of the coordinate. Now we have to travel from this point to this point. If the joint offset is changed, it is 0.1. So let's see. If I click here, it has been traveling. But now your joint offset is 0. So it is stabled over here. This is again variable. You can change this using the initial and the final values. But in our case, it is 90 as the x-axis was changed. This is 90 degree. As you can see here, we have written 90 degree. Now next is the link length, joint angle. As you can see, we have to align the x-axis as I have told earlier. We have to align the x-axis always in this line. X-axis was like this and we have aligned them along the link. So you have to rotate it at an angle of 90 degree. Next is the link length. Now the link length is 0.2. You can change this as per your requirement. If I increase this, this is 0.3. So this height has been increased. This is the link length. I'll change this back to 0.2. Now the link length, as we have aligned this x-axis along this link length, now it will travel through the x-axis. So only the x-axis travels along the link length. So the link length is 0.2 and this is the x-axis. So now this has been traveled along the x-axis. So this has been reached at a height of 0.2. And finally the twist angle, as you know, this z-axis should be aligned across this line, as this is the prismatic joint and the z-axis we have seen earlier, it is pointing in this direction. Now to align this z-axis onto this link, we have to rotate about x-axis. So the twist angle is 90 degree. So this has to align in this direction. I'll click on twist angle and let's see. So the x-axis is common and this has been rotated at an angle of 90 degree to align the z-axis in this direction. So this is the second joint. This is the second link which we have studied. Now we have been transferring from this particular point, this end to this end. Now we have to transfer from this end to this end. First we transfer from this to this, then we transfer from this to this. Now we are transferring from this end to this end. Now for this also we require the DH parameter, that is the last link, that is the prismatic joint. So this is the link number 3. First we have the joint offset, that is 0.3. Now here you can see the joint offset is variable. So this variable can be changed from this to this. So as you can see, I have written here 0.1 and 0.2. The total gives me 0.3. This is 0.1 and this is 0.2. So this is variable. You can change this anyhow you want. This will increase. So this is the initial value and this is the final value. If I change this to 0, this will be the initial value. It will start from this end and it will end here. So I can increase this. This is 0.3. If I increase this 0.3, this will increase like this. This is the initial and this is the final. You can see here also in forward kinematics, this is the initial value and the final value. So see how this sliding, it changed from this to this. Okay, so this is the start and this is the end. But now we have 0.1 and this is 0.2. So now this is the start position and this will be the end position. So for joint number 3, now transferring from this end to this end. So joint 3, joint offset, first it is variable, so it is 0.1, total is 0.3. It traveled from this end to this end. So this is the initial value which it traveled from 0.1. So this distance is 0.1. Here you can write 0.1 also. As the joint offset is totally variable, it is up to us selecting the initial and the final values. Okay, so that's why it is written here variable. So it has been traveled 0.1, that is the joint offset. Now it has reached to this offset, this joint. To reach this joint, we have traveled 0.1 meter. Next is the joint angle theta. It is always 0. It is always 0 in the prismatic joint. So keep this in mind. If I make this joint angle, if I change this, this is how the link will be, but this is fixed. It will not rotate. If I do the forward kinematic, it is fixed. We have to enter the value and it gets fixed. So 45 degree, 30 degree, 90 degree, anyhow I can change this as I want, but it is a fixed value given. Now it is 0, it is fixed. Next is the link length, that is 0.1. So joint angle 0, I'll click on joint angle. It has not moved. If it was any other than this, if it was a 30 degree, and if I click on the joint angle, so this will rotate. As you know, it has to align. The x-axis has to align along the link. So the joint angle 30 degree, so it has aligned here. But right now it is 0, so there is no need. Joint angle is 0. It didn't change. It just got transferred from this to this. Now next is the link length. As you can see here, the link length is 0.1. So when I click on link length, so this is the length of the link. So it is 0.1 meters, that is from this end to this end. This can be changed. If it was 0.2, this height will be according to that. So now it is 0.1. So when I click here link length, it gets transferred along this line. So this is the end effector. This is the end of the robot. As you can see, we have transferred from this end to this end. Now finally the twist angle. The twist angle is 90 degree again. So when I click on twist angle, now as you know, this z-axis is aligned in this direction. To align in this direction, the angle should be 90 degree. So this is the end of the coordinate. So it started from here and it ended here. So this is the whole process using DH parameters. We have 3 degrees of freedom. So according to, we have 3 different types of DH parameters. So 2 revolute and 1 prismatic joint link. You can view this everything together also. You can see how it works. I can click here on joint 1. So starting from the first joint, you can click on together. So you can see how it moves. You can increase the speed and see. So this is how it moves from joint 1 to joint 2. So the 0, 0.3, 90 degree, it moved together. So this is first joint offset is 0. Then the joint angle theta variable, that is 90 degree. Then it moved 0.3 and finally the twist angle alpha, that is 90 degree. Now if I click on joint 2, you can see again it is 0. Then it moved to variable, that is the 90 degree shift it took. Then the link length, and finally the twist angle. And lastly the joint 3, you can view it together. And finally the twist angle, that is alpha. So hope so the DH parameters, this part is clear to all. So with this, using this robo analysis software, it is really simple to understand the DH parameters. Also you can click on this base frame to end effector. This is the base frame and this is the end effector. You can click on this and you can totally visualize from the base to the end effector. So as it is moving, you can visualize this totally. So using the DH parameters, we have to find out the position of the end effector with respect to the base. That is our motive. So for that, we have to find the position of this joint with respect to this joint, then this with respect to this. So step by step we have to find out, and then we have to totally find out the position of the end effector with respect to the base. Because in robotics, the robot where it has to reach, we have to find that coordinate. So that is our main motive for finding the DH parameters. Now till here you know this DH parameters. Now in the next lecture we will find out the kinematics. We'll study the kinematics and later on we'll study the dynamics. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe. See you in the next lecture.